everyone, I'm Kim and I'm here with Lee, Shira, and Juji. We are four friends, speakers, and professionals from different cultures, backgrounds, and age groups coming together to offer healing and inspiration. As you can see, Taris is not with us today. We are happy but also sad to let you know that she has decided to pursue other career endeavors. We wish her nothing but the best. And who knows, maybe she'll be a guest on a future show. So you know how sometimes we love being around certain people. There is just something about their energy that draws us in wanting more. And then there's the flip side where some people make us feel downright uncomfortable. Well, there is so much more that goes on between us than we are even aware of. So today we are going to explore the phenomenon of energy and how it impacts us and the world around us. Ladies, who wants to start us off?
I'll go first.
Huge.
Well, I think that there's a lot of discussion around this subject matter about good vibes and people's frequency and people talking about how they're really only wanting to attract good vibes into their lives. And what it really comes down to is, and we talk about this all the time, is that our inner world determines how we all vibrate. You know, so your emotions determine this, what you think about determines this, and it literally is how every cell in your body vibrates as an energy. And as a result, you know, you put that out into the world, and that's what we're experiencing. So, I mean, I love all of your vibes. That's clearly why we're all here. And that frequency really carries. You know, you can meet somebody for the first time, and depending on their vibration, it can either jive with you or not. And that's not something that most people talk about in terms of meeting one another. It's more like, do I like the person or not, based on what they say. But there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. So to speak.
I am fascinated by this whole topic because, you know, it's a relatively new phenomenon that we understand, that, you know, neuroscientists and quantum physicists understand. And believe me, I am speaking, but I am so not an expert on this at all. But like when I understood and read about the fact that everything is energy, like this banana, this glass, my cell phone, but like we're all made, like everything on the planet is made up of energy that's all like colliding and interacting with each other. And so it kind of opens your eyes to a whole new way of looking at everything when you realize that your energy, the other person is energy, everything around us is energy. You think you're looking at like solid matter, but it's not. It's just all particles. And it's just a whole cool way to look at it. It just reorients you to the fact that we're all part of this cosmos and bigger energy field than we are. And it makes you realize that while you, and this is what we talk about all the time, like you need to have more awareness of your own inner vibration frequency, whatever that is. And that's the genesis of everything.
Right.
How you vibrate within you, your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, all of that completely has so much to do with what then happens to you. I guess karma.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And I too have been so fascinated by this subject lately, frequency and energy and vibration, because yes, I also recently learned that everything is energy. Like you said, all the material stuff that we're surrounded by is energy, and that stuff can change also. And they have had different ways to prove that. Water's energy can change. There's this Japanese scientist who proved this.
Yes, Masaru Emoto.
Yes. So he took some water, right? You could have a glass of water and play some amazing, relaxing classical music to it. And then when they looked at the water under a microscope, they saw these beautiful formations, almost like looking through a kaleidoscope of forms. And when water is in the presence of negativity and hate or anger, you can talk to water and say, I hate you, you suck, and then look at it in under a microscope, and it'll be all botched up. All of the cells start to get botched up, and that's how this can affect us. as well. And I love, the combination of things you guys said, because usually you were talking about being around other people's energy and do we notice that? And one of the biggest things for me is to be more aware of my own energy, and then how we can change that to make it positive, for as long as we can. So these are amazing things. But I got to say, Shira, the phenomenon of energy has not only been recently in conversations. It's been around for a very long time. Nikola Tesla, as a matter of fact, who was born in the 1800s, studied energy. He was an electrical engineer, a physicist, an inventor. He had the right idea way, way back. And today I think people are a lot more in tune with it.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify. It's not that energy is sort of a new phenomenon. Yeah. What's newer is the fact that we look at things as if they are actually a solid formation, but they are not. They're not a solid formation. They're basically transparent. It's just all of these like subatomic particles are put together to form what we see. But we think that this table, we think everything is like a hard piece of something, but it's not. And that's right. That's something kind of amazing when you look at it.
Right, because when you start to break it down, right, it's a thing now, it's a particle, but then you could break it down into an electron, a molecule, an atom, and all of that. And I don't know the exact order, but when you break it down into nothing, it could be in the air. And that's how things start to form.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't really give that a lot of thought as far as like how to change your energy, or even just paying attention to the energy you put out in the world. I'll never forget the first time that I really started to learn about this. I didn't look at it as an energy thing. I looked at it like a personality thing, but I realize now it was my energy. But years and years ago, when I started my career in television, I found myself attracting all of these jobs. And as a freelancer, I had friends all around me who were really, really struggling. And the one thing that I was noticing was that my bosses and people that I worked with and people offering me all these jobs were people that worked with me. And I'm not like saying this to boast, but I have always tried to have the energy of optimism and generosity and love and, happy and calm and all of those things. And I saw it literally getting me work. And it wasn't that my friends didn't have that energy, because of course they did. But I would really go out of my way to put it out there in the workplace, because it was such a stressful environment that something deep inside of me knew that if I was here and someone was here, that I would need to, maybe come down to their energy, or sometimes they needed to be uplifted up here with me. So it was just something kind of innate in me that, I saw it, and I saw it work to my benefit and got me work,
That's amazing. Yeah. I love that, Kim, because most people don't even realize that. I mean, it was innate in you, which is so cool. Like you kind of just knew, and maybe you wouldn't even know how to explain it at the time, right? But,
totally.
And that just, yeah. And that's what most of us should strive for. I mean, just different energy levels. And we vibrate, they say, on different frequencies. We can have a really shitty day and be vibrating at a very low frequency. And that's what our energy projects. And then the opposite can happen, but I think, again, like awareness, and almost every episode that we have done, I think I've mentioned the word awareness, because that for me is huge. It's like, if you're aware of something, then you can work with it. You can do something about it or not. It's whatever you choose, but at least you have that awareness. And then now that, we're aware of frequencies and vibrations, we can do something about it.
Well, so
I think Zhuzh wanted to say something. Sorry, I knew you wanted to say something.
Well, I think this is a good lead in of like what to do about it. Part of what the next step of the discussion is like what you put your energy towards, right? Like when you're running around spreading yourself thin, you can't properly put your energy into one focused thing, and it gets very distorted and diluted, right? And if you truly only put your energy into something that lights you up from within, that makes you feel satisfaction and peace and happiness, that is when you can show up as your highest self, as your highest vibration. It's when you say yes to things that you don't really want to say yes to, that you show up with this low energy, with this low vibration. And you think you're doing somebody a favor when you say yes, even if you don't want to, but you're really not. You're showing up as less than your fully expressed sparkly self. So it's really not doing yourself or the other person any favors when you do that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to piggyback on that because I know we've talked about Esther Hicks sometimes, and she has a book called Ask and It Is Given. And she actually, they, whoever, we, whatever her entity is, talks about all of the different emotional and all the different energies that you could be exuding, from gratitude and love and joy all the way down to depression, anxiety, stress, and all of that, you know, disappointment. And then there's all this stuff in between. And I think it's really important to note that, because people who are listening to this might be going, oh, now I'm just going to be zippity doo dah all day long. And it's like, no, that's not how it works, because you can't go from here to here in a single leap. You have to find another vibration that's just maybe a little notch above where you are now, and then kind of work your way towards it. Like we're talking about, you have to have awareness, but your energy can get depleted if you try to do too much at one time, where it's like, oh, now I have this awareness, now I just have to like burst my energy all day long. No, that's going to completely zap you of your energy. So you have to be kind to yourself, right? We talk about self-care and being kind to oneself. And I think you have to do that with your energy level too. If it's not there, you can't force it, you know?
Yeah. And we're talking about energy in terms of how we're feeling right now also, right? But energy, I mean, there are so many forms of energy, obviously. There's chemical energy, and there are so many forms of energy. And when we talk about energy in terms of human beings and our emotions, you know, this branches out into so many other things, like energy for healing, right? So there are specific frequencies that if we are around them or we are exposed to them, can raise or lower our frequency in ways that we may not even know. You know, so there's a lot also I'm looking into lately about frequency medicine, quantum healing. These are like, they sound like so out there, but they all have to do with the same thing, you know, with the level of vibration or frequency that you are, you know, putting out there. So this is amazing. I wanted to share a quote by Nikola Tesla about energy. And again, this guy, if you think about it, he was born in the 1800s. He died in like 1943. But he said, "The day that science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence."
Ooh, I just got to chill.
Some food for thought. Some food for thought there.
Yeah.
Non-physical phenomena. Yeah, because we're used to the material things and studying that in terms of science, but so much.
Can I just say one quick thing? Sometimes when I'm meditating or whatever, I will put my hands up and I will imagine that I'm vibrating and that like heat is coming off of me. Right? I just put myself in like a non-physical place, and I can literally feel my hands warm up. Like I'm so focused on the vibration and the frequency that I can almost feel it in my body. And it's, wow, again, it's such an interesting way to go. There's, like we said in our intro, there's more going on here than meets the eye. Like there's so much we don't know about how we interact with each other. And it's such a wonderful thing to explore because it falls under the I didn't even know that I didn't know it category.
Yeah. And I want to bring up the law of attraction here only because when I think of energy and how like attracts like, that was one thing when I kind of had this whole realization, oh, if my energy is upbeat and positive and optimistic, I'm getting more work, right? I was also healthier, like physically and mentally, I just felt good. So, and the whole like attract likes thing, the more I was putting out this energy, the more of that type of stuff I was attracting back. So I really started to see it. I saw it with my amazing friends. I've attracted all you guys, just so many experiences between work and family and health. And I physically saw it in my life. So like when I wanted to ask you guys, what you guys do to like shift your energy, because I think that's really important for maybe us to give some ideas to people. Like Shira, I was thinking about music and how that totally completely shifts your energy, right? Like that's one
100%.
huge tool for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think any form of creativity, there's art therapy, there's music therapy, there's laughter therapy. There are ways to shift your energy. You just have to be willing and open to, and even what we say in our own minds, like, I am willing and open to shift my energy. Just that sentence alone can make you go, all right, show me, like, what do I need to know? But yes, music for art for sure, all of it.
You mentioned kindness before, and I so badly wanted to jump in that moment because for me, I feel like that's such a tool for me is kindness. Like I always think every day, I think of like, how can I be kinder to myself and how can I be kinder to others? And it's just, it really has shifted my whole life. It's brought me, amazing support system, and just my perspective on life and on family and on people. I don't go out there in the world and look at like I could easily see the person at the supermarket who's bitching online and saying all these negative things, but instead I kind of go inward and I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to give this poor cashier an inkling of kindness today, and maybe I'll think of a compliment or something. Or
right. And you can shift their whole day. It's amazing that one tiny little thing that we say or do with someone can shift their whole day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We're so powerful that way.
We are. Jude, what do you think?
Well, I think that what's funny is we're talking about how we shift our own like vibration. Sometimes I think we have to accept that we can't. I think even that is a shift in perspective, in a sense of, there are days that I'd like cannot force myself to be social, and I cannot force myself to fake it till you make it kind of thing. And I just like need to be by myself, or I need to take a long walk, or I need to like call someone and not like put it on at that moment. And that's okay too. And to know the difference between the days when I am totally available to be my best self and the days when it's me time. Because there's no there's no, that's the thing, is the like attracts like. If you can be gentle with yourself and like be aware of that for yourself, there's like that's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, it's a fine balance.
So yummy.
I love that. I actually think that's an awesome place to wrap it up. So thank you for sharing, everybody. And if you guys love our conversations, please click like and subscribe to our channel. We would love that. And, tell a friend, spread the word, and let us know if you have any comments or if you have any questions, or if there's a topic that you would like us to cover. We'd love that. So we'll see you soon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe.
Bye now.
Bye.